Doing well. Welcome to Parenting Through the Coronavirus Pandemic number 24. I can't believe I've been doing this for almost a month. It's crazy to think about. Well, yeah, almost a month. Amazing. And we're all hopefully still standing, so that's a good thing. I guess I should say Happy Easter to those of you who celebrate it, because it is Easter here, and it's a strange Easter. Each year on Easter, we usually go to I should say, we usually go to church, and then our family comes over for Easter brunch and dinner. We make some family recipes, and there is ham and potato salad, which is delicious, and kibasi, because my mother-in-law is Polish, so we have some of her recipes or dishes that she's made forever, and it's lovely. And then the whole family comes over and we hang out and we watch baseball if it's on, or we play volleyball in the backyard, or throw the football around, whatever. We play cards or whatever we're going to do. And then we make dinner, and then we all eat together, and then everybody goes home. And this year is very strange because there's none of that. There's no church, there's no family coming over, there's no brunch, there's nothing really. So it almost feels like Easter didn't happen this year. Very strange. A couple of weeks ago, we had my daughter's 15th birthday. Well, I should say her 15th birthday party. No, her 15th birthday party. Why am I not speaking? Because I was getting ready to sneeze and I was trying to squeeze it all out before I sneeze. Her 15th birthday came, and we tried to make it as special as we could with just us here. And she and I baked a chocolate chip cookie cake, which was super yummy. And I ordered her gifts off of Amazon because we weren't allowed to shop at that point. And we tried to make it pretty special, and I think it was. But she can't have a birthday party with her friends. And then my son's birthday is coming up we still have about 3 more weeks till his birthday. There's not going to be any birthday parties or celebrations. His birthday is May 4th. So, the Star Trek phrase, "May the 4th be with you," that's what we say to him on his birthday. I don't see us having any kind of friend birthdays on or near his birthday. So they're both going to have to wait, which is fine. But we have a pool in the backyard. So a lot of years they have chosen to have pool birthday parties instead of something else that's closer to their birthday, because it's too cold to have the pool open now. So several years they have waited till June to have their birthday parties. So that's not really a big deal. They did that pre-coronavirus. But Easter isn't really something that seems like you would do it later when you can. Like, once it's gone, it's gone. So it's almost like the Easter that wasn't. Very, very strange. And then I saw someone talking about Passover and saying, this year the Passover celebration is virtual, but the plague is real. So I thought that was an interesting twist on Passover. So I don't know. It's just strange. Today's a strange day. It's very quiet. And I think my mind is very used to, like, at this point, it's 12 o'clock here. Our family members would have already been here for several minutes. They would have been arriving around 12. So I think my ears actually are expecting to hear lots of voices and noise in my house. My house is very, very quiet. We did give my son yesterday an early birthday present. He has been asking for this particular bike for maybe almost a year. And we decided we would get it for him for his birthday, which is May 4th. But then the other day, his bike tire on his current bike popped. And I noticed that his tires on the old bike are literally bald. There's no tread on the tires. They're just like smooth rubber. So we decided to get his birthday present 3 weeks early. I ordered it last week, so it came yesterday, and he and my brother-in-law put it together. And I am telling you, I understand now why he kept asking for this bike. It's so nice. It's a SoCal Flyer. It's so nice. Well, first of all, the tires are brand new, so the tread is thick like a new pair of sneakers or a new tire on your car. It's really, 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 it's like shock absorbing, even though it doesn't have the shock, squeezy accordion like actual shocks on the bike. It doesn't have that, but it absorbs shock really well, and it's really fast. I can't even explain why this bike is fast, but when you pedal, you can literally feel yourself zooming forward, like lurching forward. It's a very cool bike. So I really understand why he wanted it so desperately. It's really easy to ride and it goes really fast and it's just really nice. So he's been going out on his bike yesterday, today, go out, come home a half an hour later, stay home for 5 minutes. Oh, I'm going to go back out on my bike again. So it's really cute to watch him getting to enjoy his birthday present a few weeks early. But I guess, that's another thing about this coronavirus pandemic. It's forcing us all to think outside of the box, right? So we're stuck at home. We have to figure out how to recreate or create new routines for ourselves to keep us happy and healthy and functioning and, you know, um, feeling good in mind, body, and spirit. We have to come up with new routines, new things to do. I used to like to go to the gym, but my gym is closed. So I have to figure out ways to stay healthy and fit at home. For those of us who are working at home, we have to figure out how to do that. It's no big deal for me because I've been working from home for years. But for those of you who commuted to your jobs and did something in an office or something, you have to figure out what that looks like and how to make that work at home. And when birthdays come, you have to figure out how you can make it special when you can't do it the normal way that you would have done. When it's time for a haircut, I'm seeing lots of people posting pictures of the haircuts they're giving their family members. And I think it's really interesting because we're all collectively going through this pandemic, and our countries around the world shuttered at various stages as the virus relentlessly marched around the globe. But we're all kind of going through the same thing. I read an article yesterday that talked about the 5 weeks of the pandemic. The first few weeks were all about, like, everyone was hoarding I think the first week everyone was hoarding hand sanitizer and gloves. And then week 2, I think everyone was panic buying toilet paper. And then week 3, I think they were buying baking goods and spiral hams. That's what the article said. Week 4 started the panic buying of hair clippers and hair dye. So it's really interesting, especially watching Facebook, seeing how people are posting. They're posting baked. I remember seeing lots of baked treats that they were doing, new recipes they were trying. I saw different exercises that people were figuring out how to do at home. Now, the past week or so, I've been seeing all kinds of proud pictures of haircuts that people have been giving to their loved ones. It really does connect us all. Being in this strange state of suspended animation really connects us all to a collective global experience, which is really interesting. Really interesting. As far as the haircuts go, I cut my 12-year-old's hair I guess 2 weeks ago, and last week I cut my 17-year-old's hair. My husband is bald, so he doesn't need a haircut. And my 15-year-old, she has long hair, so she doesn't need a cut very often, but the boys need a cut. But I have been cutting people's hair since I was in college. I used to cut people's hair on the floor of my dorm, in my dorm. And I cut my husband's hair when he had it. I cut the hair of two of his brothers. I cut my son's hair when they were little. So I've done this for years and years. This is no big deal for me. But I probably haven't cut my older son's hair in, I don't know, maybe since he was 10 or 11, maybe. I don't even know why I stopped. Well, it stopped because our clippers broke. That's what it was. And then I just never bought new ones. But I found this new clipper thing in Costco over the winter, and something told me to buy it. I don't know what it was, but I did, and it's really good. It's a short little thing like this, and it's a little handheld, and it has all these different attachments. So you could like trim your eyebrows, cut your hair, beard, whatever. It's a really cool little portable thing. Did I say it's cordless? It's like a rechargeable. So anyway, my 17-year-old has been getting his hair cut by his friend who has a little hair cutting business. So last week he came to me and he said, Mom, can I schedule an appointment to go get my hair cut? And he met with his friend. And I said, to get it cut with me? To have me cut it? Yes. And he's like, no, to go to my friend's house. And I said, to get me to cut it? Yes. And he knew that I was not going for him going into someone's house, because I've been very, very strict about that. Very, very. So he knew that wasn't going to fly. So I said, I'll cut it for you. And he's like, you don't know how to cut hair. And I said, are you kidding? I cut your hair for years. I've been cutting hair for 30 years. And he said, yeah, but you only cut my hair when we used to do a buzz cut. And I said, no, you don't remember, but I know how to cut hair with scissors and with clippers and everything. And so he has basically like a, short here and a little bit longer up to like maybe an inch and a half on the top, like a standard man's haircut. So he said, well, I guess I'll let you. So I cut his hair. And then afterwards, I said, you see, I am a really good hair cutter, aren't I? And he's like, well, you're okay. And he's like, I like to have my hair faded and you did a blend. And I was like, I think it's pretty much the same thing. And he said, well, no, because a blend you go with 1 clippers, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it gets longer on the top. So I took like a 2 and I just went like that and then blended it right there. So I guess a fade is slightly different than what I did, because from here to here it was the same length. But I told my husband afterwards what he said, you did an okay job. And he's like, that probably means you gave the best haircut in the history of mankind for him to give you that kind of a response. And I was just laughing because I think he's so right. So it's been kind of really interesting to watch yeah, it was very funny. It's been really interesting to watch the global experience, the collective experience that we're all having. Now we're all thinking about haircuts and hair dye. It's really interesting. So I think that's all I wanted to share with you today. Yeah. When I call my mother-in-law each day to check in on her, see if she needs any groceries or anything, she says, what's new today? And I say, well, not much. It's like Groundhog Day every day. Same thing, different day. But I'm coming to you here, and not my normal place. Those are pictures of our daughter, Sydney, the one who died of a heart defect when she was a baby. I'm sitting in my bedroom here because we are revamping a couple of rooms downstairs. I agreed and suggested to my husband, who made a painful decision not to reopen his comic store, which he opened only 6 months ago. He made that decision. He was realizing through this pandemic that having the store open was taking away, instead of giving him a chance to be more creative, it was distracting him from his creativity. So he wasn't creating comic books at the pace that he had been. And that's what he really wanted to do. That's what he ultimately wants to do. So he realized that having the store open and working there so much really wasn't helping him to be more creative. It was stopping the creativity. So he made the decision that it was in his best interest creatively to not reopen the store. But of course, it's kind of bittersweet. So I suggested that he turn our dining room into an art studio. We use our dining room literally once a year. We host Thanksgiving for our family every year, and that's it, once a year. So I said, why don't you turn the dining room into an art studio? And then one time a year, we'll have to rearrange all the furniture so that we can have Thanksgiving dinner in there. So he liked that idea. So we're in the process of switching around a lot of furniture downstairs and trying to get that dining room transformed into an art studio. So there's so much chaos downstairs between the office and the dining room / art studio that I said, I'm just going to come up here and do this. Maybe tomorrow or the next day or whatever, when we get it situated, because right now there are boxes and pictures everywhere. Maybe I'll give you guys a tour. And thank you, Carolyn. It's when I thought about it, I thought I've thought about our house over the years, and do we have a house that's bigger than we need? You know, did we buy a house that's bigger than we need? Do we have empty, unused rooms? Because that's a waste of space. And I've felt pretty good that we make good use of all of our rooms, because there are 7 of us who live here. Me and my husband and our 3 kids and my brother-in-law and my niece. And all the 4 bedrooms upstairs are occupied, our bedroom, and then my 3 kids each have their bedroom. And then my brother-in-law and my niece live in the basement. So there are 2 rooms down there that function as bedrooms. And on the first floor of the house, we have a family room. We had a formal living room, but we turned that into an office, so that gets used every day. We had a smaller room that's would be used as an office or a playroom. We turned that into a game room. So that's where my boys sit and play video games or watch TV. And we then we have the dining room, the kitchen. The kitchen obviously gets used. And the dining room got used once a year, but now it will get used all the time. So I really feel like we're maximizing our space. We have a big open space in the in the basement, which has home gym equipment, which is coming in really handy right now. So I really feel like we are maximally using every room in our house. And that makes me feel really good, because I don't feel at this phase of life with all 7 of us here, I don't feel like we have any wasted space. Really, after turning the dining room over, we're really not going to have any wasted space. Every room will be regularly occupied almost every day by someone. So that feels really good. Once my niece, she's in college now, but her college is online for the rest of the semester. She's a senior, so she'll be graduating next month. But she was going to be starting a nursing program at the end of next month, right after Memorial Day. She's still going to start. I don't know if it'll be online or in person. Here's my 12-year-old. Hi. I don't know if she'll start online or in person.
What is?
It's my webinar that I do every day.
You almost ready?
As soon as I'm done, he wants to go on a bike ride. Go figure. But anyway, I don't know if her program will start, the nursing one, if that will start in person or online at the end of May. But her dad said that he would feel more comfortable if she would wait to look for an apartment that would start like maybe September 1st, just to make sure we see what's happening with this coronavirus. And he wants her to stay here at our house and commute for the summer. And if there are in-person classes, there might not be until, closer to the end of summer. So she'll be here for another few months before she moves into an apartment in the city next to her school. And so we're using every room of our house every day, and I feel really good about it. But once she moves out, she has a 1-year nursing program, so she'll be fully graduated and working a year from now. Oh, a year, 13 months from now. She'll move out next year. I guess she'll move out in September or August, and my son will too, because he'll go to college. So we'll go from a house of 7 to a house of 5, probably within a few weeks. And then, in a couple more years, my daughter will go off to school, my son will go off. And then once it's down to like 3 of us in the house, then we'll decide if we really need to stay here, because then we will have tons of unused space. And at that point, it might be time for us to give our house to allow a new family to occupy all of the rooms. But we're not there yet. Right now, we're in the thick of it and we're using every room, and I'm feeling good about it. So I'm going to hop off now and go for a bike ride with my son so that he can go on his, I think he's up to 4 bike rides already today, and it's only 12:30. So yeah, that's what we're doing around here. So thank you, Carolyn. We will have a lovely bike ride, and I hope that you have a wonderful Easter holiday if you celebrate it. And I will see you here hopefully tomorrow at noon. Happy Easter.